right? So when you talk about basically, we have started with the C with the help of some basic concepts. Till the last lecture, we have seen something called as pointer, a 1D array, 2D array, character array, and how do we access the data using the concept of pointer. In your CCAT, the 1D array, 2D array, and pointer, these types of questions are expected. So I would request everyone, ensure you please revise that, because if you do not revise, then you will forget the concept, right? Next, we will go ahead to the next topic, which is called as structure. So let me first explain you the need of structure first. So when I say, suppose I am declaring integer a of 4. At this moment, you will say this is an array of 4 elements. That means here there will be a of 0, there will be a of 1, a of 2, and a of 3. This part we have seen, which is also called as one-dimensional array. Now, in this scenario, can I say a of 0 is also having a data type integer, a of 1 is also having integer, a of 2 is also having integer, a of 3 is also having a data type called as integer. Every element receives the same type of data, that is basically one-dimensional array. Can I say, मैं इसको अगर float लिखूं तो चलेगा क्या? या फिर अगर मुझे ऐसा सिनेरियो चाहिए कि वेयर फर्स्ट एलिमेंट शुड बी ऑफ टाइप इंटीजर, सेकंड शुड बी ऑफ टाइप फ्लोट, एंड देन कैरेक्टर, देन इंटीजर. In a case of one-dimensional array, it is not possible. But in real-life applications, when I'm saying I want to maintain records, in that case, I may receive different type of data, which can be of integer, which can be of character, which can be of float, which can be of double in one single record. In that scenario, I will go for a structure. So what is structure? A structure is basically giving us same contiguous memory allocation. But in case of structure, we can have multiple types of data together in one scope. I'll give you the syntax now. Let us say I wish to create a structure student. So what exactly here struct is? The struct is a keyword which tells your compiler that this is the structure declaration. Student is a name of the structure. Suppose I'm writing roll number, which is of type integer. I'm writing float percentage, which is of type float. I'm writing character and a grade, and I'll say semicolon. Here, this is called as a structure. In case of structure, the syntax says this is, I'll just increase the size, right? So this is called as a structure. Now, in case of character, the syntax says this is a character. Different type of data. That is one advantage of using the structure. Have you understood up to this point? Right. Next, suppose I am saying I want to maintain 3 records, right? So the most important thing is, if we wish to access the elements of a structure, then we have to create a structure variable, a variable of type structure. Without creating structure variable, we cannot go for element accessation. For example, अगर मैं बोलती हूँ कि I want to declare a variable having name n1 and which is having integer as a data type. So I will write integer n1 and I'll write semicolon, right? What I'll say here, integer is a predefined data type, n1 is a variable name. Similarly, if I say struct student, in that scenario, this struct student collectively is known as a user defined data type. So अगर मैं बोलती हूँ मुझे structure के type का variable बनाना है, how do I write? I'll write struct, I'll write student, and I'll write s1. So what is S1 over here? S1 is a variable name and struct student collectively is treated as a data type of that. Did you understand how did I created the variable of type structure? All right. Now, if I wish to access the roll number, percentage and grade, I have to use a dot operator. मैं directly roll number is equal to 1, percentage is equal to, let us say, 78, and grade, let us say, is equal to A. ऐसे नहीं allocate कर सकते. If I wish to access the elements of type structure, I have to compulsory write S1 dot roll number, S1 dot percentage, and S1 dot grade. This is the dot operator. So with the help of structure variable name and the dot operator, we can access the structure elements. Have you understood, everyone? For example, इन माई प्रोग्राम सपोज मेरे पास अब एक स्ट्रक्चर एम्प्लॉय भी है. एक प्रोग्राम में हम लोगों को दो स्ट्रक्चर है. अब एम्प्लॉय के यहाँ पे भी मुझे एक फील्ड है कैरेक्टर ग्रेड. अज्यूम in that case, how your compiler will understand whether I am referring to this grade or whether I am referring to this grade. In that case, first I have to create struct employee, let us say E. What is E? E is the structure variable, right? And if I write E dot grade, so obviously it is going to refer to which variable? Obviously to the variable grade of which character, which structure? Of employee structure. सो समझ में आया कि अगर एक प्रोग्राम में हमारे पास मल्टीपल स्ट्रक्चर भी रहते हैं, अगर उनके अंदर फील्ड सेम है, वी कैन डिफरेंशिएट देम बाय यूजिंग देयर वेरिएबल नेम. दैट इज व्हाट इज अ नीड ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर एंड स्ट्रक्चर वेरिएबल नेम, राइट? सिमिलरली, suppose, consider the next scenario. I'll explain the scenarios first, then we will go to the program. Suppose I'm saying I have, let us say, 3 students records to be maintained. Student records, right? And अगर मेरे पास structure नहीं रहता था, in that case student 1 के लिए मैं roll number देती थी R1, student 2 के लिए roll number 2, student 3 के लिए roll number 3, फिर student 1 के लिए percentage 1, student 2 के लिए percentage 2. ऐसे मुझे इतने सारे वेरिएबल्स डिक्लेरेशन करने पड़ते थे. सिमिलरली स्टूडेंट 1 का ग्रेड 1 G1 में स्टोर किया, G2 में स्टोर किया एंड G3 में स्टोर किया. Is it feasible for creating number of variables? Obviously, it is not feasible for us to create variables. So in that case, I will go ahead with what? With the structure. If I want to create student records, I can create struct student, maybe 3 records. So I will go for S1, S2, and S3. That's it. We can go for array of structure too. I'll explain. इससे क्या होगा? S1 नाम का एक स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा और S1 नाम का एक वेरिएबल बनाया जिसके अंदर I have 3 fields. Maybe the first field is roll number, maybe the second field is percentage, and maybe the third field is grade. So this is nothing but roll number. This is, I'm writing in short, percentage, and this will be, let us say, grade. So when I have created the first variable, the first complete record will be for S1, second complete record will be for S2, third will be for S3. So this will be pointing to S1, this will be pointing to S2, this will be pointing to S3. Individual element receives its own memory allocation in the throughout the program. Whenever I am talking about, assume I am talking about S2 dot percentage is equal to, let us say, 80. In that case, which field I'm pointing to? I'm pointing to this field. In the whole program, if I wish to talk about, let us say, I am saying I wish to go for S1 dot roll number is equal to 1. Where it will go? It will point to this field. That is how the memory is allocated to individual element in case of structure. समझ में आया? I hope the introduction about structure is clear to you. Right. Now, let me just save this diagram. Introduction to structure. Okay. All right. Now, I request everyone, please ensure you S1 dot parole nahi. Pawan, you have to access it individually. अगर मैं सिर्फ लिखती हूँ S1 dot percentage, comma grade, comma roll number, whatever it is not allowed. That is a wrong syntax. मुझे structure के elements को in one variable, with a one variable, I can access only one data. Because when you talk about S1, your S1 can point to this location, your S1 can point to this location, and your S1 can point to this location. When you talk about S2, it has its own roll number, percentage, and grade. Individually, you have to work out with this. Structure topic easy hai. Only the thing is you need to remember the syntax part. Is it okay? Now, I hope everyone, you have understood this is nothing but a type of structure variable. Now, when I'll write the program, everyone have to understand okay, what is the structure declaration? Is it the structure name? Is it the data member of the structure, or is it a structure variable? So accordingly, you have to work with it. So I hope you all have understood the difference between what is the name of the structure, what are the fields of structure, and what do you mean by a structure variable. तीनों का डिफरेंशिएट करना आपको कंपलसरी आना चाहिए. The reason is name identifies that structure. Elements means the fields which are available in the structure body, and variable because we want to access the data members or the fields of the structure. Without creation of variable, you cannot do the needful. That is this. Okay, so I hope you have understood the basic meaning of structure. Monali, can you please tell me which point you have not got? Instead of repeating complete session of structure, I would request everyone, please post the exact query. That will be more beneficial and more understandable. I've drawn a clear diagram. If you want structure, you must have a structure name. You must have some fields within it, and you can use something called a structure variable. And every point I have written in detail. Why do we create structure variable? Because I want to access these fields. Which are the fields? That is this. Okay, Monali, I will explain structure variable. Structure variable is basically used for accessing the fields of the structure. This I will prove once again with the help of program. Right. Pawan, if you observe, मेरे structure student में there are three fields. One is roll number, another is percentage, third is grade. तो student का S1 का variable बनाया, तो S1 will point to all the three fields. Why? Because S1 is having a data type of struct student. S2 बनाया तो S2 will have its own fields, roll number, percentage, and grade, and S2 will have its own fields. S2 will have point to three different data members. S3 is again a type of structure student. Complete structure is given to that. S3 dot roll number, S3 dot percentage, S3 dot K. तो जब मैं सिर्फ एग्जाम्पल S2 डॉट परसेंटेज की बात करती हूँ तो डेफिनेटली इट इज गोइंग टू पॉइंट ओवर हियर. जब मैं S1 डॉट रोल नंबर की बात करती हूँ तो डेफिनेटली इट इज पॉइंटिंग ओवर हियर. दिस इज व्हाट इज individual element receives their own data. That is called as structure. We will see the program. Let us say I'll take struct student. I'm writing integer roll number. Maybe I'm writing float percentage, and I'm writing character grade. Okay, this is how you have to declare the structure. Semicolon is the syntax part. Struct is a keyword. There are 3 different fields within the structure student. Now let us assume I'll try to create roll number is equal to 1. I'll say percentage is equal to 80, right? 80.5. And let us say I'm saying grade is equal to 8. I'll give semicolon. Let us just try to compile this code. You will get error, right? Yes, Aisha, I will come to that point of size of, just hold on. After this example, after taking few examples, I will come to that point, right? Now, when you talk about roll number, it is saying it is undeclared on line number 12. Have I declared this roll number in the structure student? Yes. It is saying for grade also, it is saying for percentage also. It says it is undeclared. Why it is undeclared? It is because these are the members within the structure. Structure के body के बाहर, my main is not understanding what is this roll number, what is this percentage, what is this grade. And that's the reason we have to first create a variable. So struct, I'll write student and S1. I hope, Monali, you have understood the meaning or the need of structure variable. If I write S1 dot roll number, S1 dot percentage, and S1 dot grade, now the error will not come. Can you see? Error koi bhi nahi aaya. Have I printed it? No. If I wish to print, I'll write %D, %F, %C. First %D, S1 dot roll number. Second %D, S1 dot percentage. Third, S1 dot grade. So it should display me 3 records, and that is how it is. Can you see I'm getting this, everyone? Right. Now, suppose I wish to go for, I'll take the same code. Let me cover a few points and then I will take up your queries now, because some things are interlinked now. Let us say I am declaring 2 variables, S1 and S2. At this moment, can I say there are 2 structure variables? Yes. Can I write S2 dot roll number is equal to S1 dot roll number? Yes. This is called as copying the data from one element of one structure into another element. मैंने S1 डॉट रोल नंबर का डेटा S2 डॉट रोल नंबर में कॉपी किया. Similarly, I can go for S2 dot percentage is equal to S1 dot percentage. S2 dot grade is equal to S1 dot grade, and so on. But if I want to directly copy S1 data into S2, I can use equal to operator. This is called as copying one structure data into another. Let us compile. Okay, what we will do is, I'll say this is my S1 record. Similarly, मैंने equal to लिखा, and now I'm saying I want to print S2 record. So here I'll write S2 dot roll number, S2 dot percentage, S2 dot grade. Let's compile the code. You can copy the elements data easily by just using equal to operator. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? डेटा सेम रहेगा because आपने कॉपी किया है यहाँ पे. That's but obvious. If you wish to allocate separate, you can assign S2 dot roll number is equal to 2, S2 dot percentage, and so on and so forth. ठीक है? Now, Let me take the same example, but now I wish to take input from user. I'll say integer main, right? And I'll say return 0. I'll say printf enter roll number. So you can take input from user using the structure address of s1 dot roll number. You can create variable first. आप structure का variable मैंने कहाँ पे declare किया? Inside the main. If you wish to create a structure variable, you can also create a structure variable over here. This is called as creation of structure variable at the time of declaration. So there are two ways via which you can create a structure variable. One, you can create it inside main, and second, you can create a structure variable immediately after declaration of structure. Can we copy into another variable of structure? Yes, that's what Tushar I have done. You have done it, right? अगर एक स्ट्रक्चर का डेटा दूसरे स्ट्रक्चर में कॉपी करना है, then you have to specify properly कि आपको कौन सी फील्ड का डेटा. अगर दोनों स्ट्रक्चर में सेम फील्ड्स है तो वो एग्जैक्ट कॉपी हो जाएगा. अगर दोनों स्ट्रक्चर में फील्ड सेम नहीं है तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं होगा. ओके तुषार, now I'm saying enter the roll number. Normally हम address of roll number बोलते हैं, but can you observe here I have used address of s1 dot roll number. It is because पहला एक वेरिएबल जनरेट हुआ जिसका रोल नंबर फील्ड है. इस वेरिएबल का नाम है s1, address of s1 dot roll number. Similarly, I can take grade. However you take, every element will have their own property. Let us say first I'm taking grade, so address of s1 dot grade. Maybe second I'm taking per roll number or percentage, so I will take address of s1 dot percentage, and maybe third I want to take roll number. However you take. So this is called as taking the input from the user. So if I wish to print, let us say however you print grade in %C, roll number in %D, and percentage in %F. So S1 dot grade. मैं ये क्यों random लिख रही हूँ? I want to prove that in case of structure, every element will receive its own memory allocation. फिर आप sequence कोई भी लिखो, कहाँ से भी आप access करो, that data will get accessible properly. Let us compile and save this code. Can you see it's asking enter the grade? Let us say I'm entering the grade as A. It is saying enter %. So, okay, I've not given the format specifiers. Percentage is F and roll number is D. Correct format specifiers I have not given. My bad. The error of copy pasting. Tick. So let us check. Enter grade, enter percentage, enter roll number, and I'm getting this complete data. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Everyone? All right. Good. Good. So next, suppose I'll take the same code and I am saying instead of creating one variable, I wish to go for creating 3 variables. The first solution is I'll write struct, I'll say student, and I'll say s of 3. So there will be s of 0, s of 1, s of 2. Correct? This is called as array of structure. यहां तक समझ में आया? अब जब मुझे पहला रिकॉर्ड एंटर करना है, then I'll go for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. I will ask from user enter the grade. User will enter Can I write S of I dot grade, which will point to S of 0 dot grade? Enter percentage. Percent F में address of S of I dot percentage, and third, enter roll number S of I dot roll number. Whenever you are accepting a character, I'll write scanf percent star C, which will suppress the meaning of new line character, right? Finally, यहाँ पे मैंने S of 0, S of 1, S of 2 तक का डेटा यूजर से ले लिया and I wish to print it. So I'll write for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. This is going to print grade, roll number, percentage. Instead of writing S of 1, I'll write S of I. Instead of writing S of 1, I will create S of I. And instead of writing S of 1, I'll create S of I. Right? So you can create a structure variable at the time of declaration. अगर मैं यहाँ पे भी S of 3 declare करती थी तो भी चलता था. This is called as array of structure. You can create array of structure inside the main. You can create array of structure variable at the time of declaration. Why do we generally go for structure declaration before main? It is called as a global area so that other functions can have the accessibility within it. Okay, now let us say I will just compile this code and check. Enter the grade, let us say A. Enter the percentage, let us say 80. Enter the roll number 1. Again, it is asking, enter the grade, enter the percentage, and I'm saying roll number 2. Enter the grade, I'll say B. Enter the percentage, let us say 40, and I'm saying roll number 3. Is it displaying me roll number, percentage, and grade, roll number, percentage, and grade, roll number, percentage, and grade for 3 students? Yes, I can put /n to give the output in the proper format. This is called as array of structure. समझ में आया? Everyone, any questions so far? We will see the size of, don't worry. I'll say struct. Let us say I'm creating a separate structure, employee, where I have integer ID, and let us say I have, let us say something called as float salary. All right. Now, within this structure employee, I am creating one. Yes, Shubham, I'll come to that point. I have, okay, I'll take type def first. I'll say main, I'll say void, and I'll say return 0. Now, can you please tell me, everyone, what is the structure name over here? What is the name of the structure? Real name structure का क्या है? Collectively, my structure is having the name as struct employee. Is it a user defined data type? Yes, it is a user defined data type. Now, do you remember this concept of type def? Shubham, coming to your point. Right. Type def क्या करता है? मुझे nickname देता है. हम type def कैसे लिखते थे? In case of type def, we used to write something called as type def, then integer, then मैंने यहाँ पे nickname दिया था. So what is the real name over here? Can I say this is nothing but real name? This is nothing but nickname. याद है सबको? This is my real name and this is the nickname. Right? Similarly, अगर मुझे struct employee को नया नाम देना है, I can precede it as a type def and I can write here, let us say EMP. अब आप मुझे बताओ, what is EMP over here? EMP is it a variable name or is it a nickname? It is a nickname given to struct employee. समझ में आया? Everyone. Right. Now the question is, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे EMP बनाया, can I say here struct employee E1? Can you please tell me struct? Can you please tell me what is E1 over here? E1 is a variable. Very good. Is it created using real name, original name, or the nickname? Real name. Very good. And if I say EMPE2, what is E2? What is E2? It's a variable name created using nickname. तो internally EMP क्या है? मेरा type definition है. To whom it is given? To the structure employee. So I hope you have got your answer. The one who have asked me, can we type def structure? Yes, because structure is also a user defined data type, and type def is used to give a nickname to these things. Is it okay? Similarly, can I write E1.id is equal to 1, E1.salary maybe is equal to 50,000. Similarly, you can write E2.id is equal to 2, and you can write E2.id is equal to 60,000, or E2.salary is equal to 60,000. If you wish to print, I hope Shubham you have got employee 1 record. I'll write %D, %F. I'll write E1.id, E1.salary. Similarly, if I wish to go for E2 record, I'll write E2.salary, E2.id, and this is my E2 record. Let me just compile this code and check it. Can you see we are getting this? Yes, here I should use %F. I'll save this. Let us compile this code and check the output. समझ में आया? Everyone. Yes. Now, someone can ask me कि अगर मैंने मेरे स्ट्रक्चर को नाम ही नहीं दिया, if I do not write real name, then this is called as anonymous structure. If a structure is not given any name, then that is called as anonymous structure. In a case of anonymous structure, then you have to basically write a type def. Means anonymous structure बनाते हो तो आपको अगर type def देना है, that is also possible. Right? Everyone, Haniraj, can you see here? ये मेरा type def है. Type def के extreme right में मैंने उसको nickname दिया है, और टाइप डेफ के बीच में मैंने पूरा मेरा ये स्ट्रक्चर एम्प्लॉय एज अ यूजर डिफाइंड डेटा टाइप हो जाता है. सो डेटा टाइप, लेफ्ट साइड टाइप डेफ, एक्सट्रीम राइट साइड निकनेम. द सिंटैक्स इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. Can I say complete structure employee is a user defined data type? That is my real name. Yes. Okay, Aniraj. All right. Now, सपोज अगर मैं यहाँ पे एनोनिमस स्ट्रक्चर बनाती हूँ, आई एम नॉट गिविंग टाइप डेफ टू. In that case, this is called as anonymous structure, a structure which is not having any name. In that case, can I create EMPE2 over here? No, because ना ही मेरे पास निकनेम है और ना ही मेरे पास रियल नेम है. If I have an anonymous structure, it is compulsory to create a variable at the time of declaration only. Anonymous structure बनाते हो, structure का variable कैसे बनाते हैं? हम लिखते हैं struct, फिर नाम लिखते हैं structure का, फिर variable का नाम लिखते हैं. Do I have a name given to the anonymous structure? No. So if you are writing and structure which is not having any name, that is called as anonymous structure. If you create an anonymous structure, in that case, if you wish to access the variables of that, then compulsory you have to write a variable at the time of declaration. समझ में आया? Let me just compile and check out. Have you understood what I'm trying to explain? What is anonymous structure? A structure without name is called as anonymous structure. Okay. Now someone can ask me, can I give only nickname to it? Yes, you can give a nickname to the structure by using a type def. अब आप मुझे बताओ, जब मैं type def use करती हूँ, if I write emp means can I say here emp is it a variable, is it a name, is it a real name, is it a nickname, is it a field? What exactly it is? It is a nickname. It is a nickname given to structure. समझ में आया? Everyone, right? अब क्या मैं मेरे मेन में निकनेम के साथ वेरिएबल बना सकती हूँ? Yes, of course. So this is called as anonymous structure with type def. No real name, Haniraj. In this scenario, मेरे structure के पास real name नहीं है. It's only having the nickname. So it's a valid syntax. So never click on compile time error if the structure declaration is done like this. It's absolutely perfect syntax. So I'm trying to explain different syntaxes with respect to structure. So if I write type def struct and if I write only emp, यहाँ पे मेरा emp वेरिएबल नहीं रहेगा, यहाँ पे emp is a nickname. कैसे पता चला? Because it is a type def. Hope it's understood by you everyone. Yes or no? All right. Now, let me go a little ahead. I'll create struct employee. Maybe I have integer ID. Maybe I have integer salary. Within this employee, I am writing struct. Maybe I'm saying integer dd, integer integer yy. And I'll say, let us say d. First of all, can you please tell me the outer structure is having the name which is called as employee? Now I will draw over here this diagram. Can you also observe within this outer structure, I have declared one more structure, and this concept is called as nested structure. This is called as nested structure. Let us compile it. Let us first try to draw a diagram. Whenever I am talking about nested structure, every time, first of all, you have to observe how many elements are there in my structure. Pehla element, integer ID. Dusra element, integer salary. The third element is nothing but complete another structure. So I can say for this structure, I have this as the first field, this as a second field, this as a third field of my structure. Now, let us try to draw a diagram. How you draw a diagram in case of nested structure, please understand this example because nested structure के questions आते हैं and normally student diagrams गलत draw करते हैं तो answer गलत आता है. The first field is nothing but ID. The second field is nothing but salary. The third field is one more structure within it, which is having three more fields. I'll draw the diagram DD, which is having MM and which is having YY. Now, I will write quickly the elements into it. First element is ID. Second element is salary. Next, here I have DD, here I have MM, here I have YY. Whatever is the name of the structure, always write onto the top of that structure. Will be easy for accessing data. Now, can you please tell me, क्या मेरे inner structure को नाम दिया गया है क्या? No. क्या मेरे structure को nickname भी दिया गया है क्या? नहीं. क्या मेरे इनर स्ट्रक्चर को वेरिएबल दिया गया है क्या? वेरिएबल, यस. व्हाट इज दैट वेरिएबल नेम? डी. तो आप डी यहां पे लिखने का मतलब जो भी जैसे डायग्राम आता है वैसे आप डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना स्टार्ट करो. इट विल बी इजी फॉर फेचिंग द डेटा. सो can I say if I'm writing employee dot id, is it a correct syntax? Can I access structure name dot variable name directly? No. पहले मुझे structure का variable बनाना पड़ेगा. Can I say here I'll write struct employee. That means outer structure को अब मैंने क्या नाम दे दिया? E. Why we are using semicolon, Sanket? That is basically the you can say syntax part. Okay. Have you understood how I have drawn the diagram? Right. Now, if I say E dot ID, is it 1? E dot salary, maybe 50,000. E dot D dot DD is equal to 22nd. E dot D dot MM, it is March. E dot D dot YY, it is 2021. अब समझ में आया मैंने जैसे डायग्राम ड्रॉ किया मेरे लिए कैसे इजी हुआ डेटा एक्सेस करने के लिए. Everyone, you need to understand whenever you are talking about nested structure, understand the difference between whether no name is given to the inner structure. Haniraj, अब थोड़ी देर पहले ही मैंने आपको एक anonymous structure बनाया. Anonymous structure में if I write here E1, it is a structure variable. You can access E1.id and E1.salary directly. All right, this is called as nested structure, a structure within the structure. Right? So have you understood the diagram as well as the accession part of the structure? This is nested structure. I request everyone, आप सब लोग जब भी nested structure का diagram आता है तो ensure you please perform the diagram first and then only proceed ahead. Because if you do not draw this diagram correctly, तो आपका आंसर गलत आएगा और आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा. Right? Now, let us say I'm writing integer main and I'm saying void. अब मैं यहाँ पे struct employee e लिखती हूँ. Okay, but while creating this variable, I am giving some values. 1, maybe 60,000, maybe 22, maybe 3, 2021. Right? This is also possible that I am defining the structure variable inside my program. If I write like this, okay, one way is you can write it like this. Another way, if you write like this, the first field will have one value. The second field will have 60,000 value. The third field will have 22 as a value, that is DD. The fourth field which will have 3 as the value, and the fifth field will have 2021. So one way is you can take input from the user by accessing the element. Other way, you can assign the values by directly using equal to operator. And the third way is basically while creating a variable, if I am assigning set of element, याद है क्या हम array भी ऐसे ही declare करते थे, but array में data same रहता था, but structure में data अलग अलग type का है. If you have grade, you can add A and so on and so forth. Did you all get the meaning of this? So if you wish to print Let us say ID in %D, salary in %D. How will I access? E1.id, E1.salary. Then I'll say printf date in %D, %D, %D. First %D should hold E1.D.mm, E1.D.yy, E1.D. This is MMDDYY. ठीक है. The way I have declared DDMMNYY, the way I'm printing it. Okay, let's compile the code. Whatever user have assigned somewhere in this, it's saying E1. Okay, I've created variable name as E. I'll write E1. So, is it giving me the proper data as far as user have entered? Yes. Is it okay? This is called as you are defining the structure variable at the time of main only. How to give a nested structure, how we can create array of structure, everything I have explained in proper detail. यहाँ तक किसी को कोई doubt है, please ask. Then we will move to size of. All right. Is the code visible at your end on the portal? Just a second. Line number 19. Line number 19 पे Monali E1.D.dd. E1.D.dd. Uska value is 22. It is displaying in %D. That is 22. Then I've written hyphen. That hyphen is given. Then E1.D.mm. That is what month I'm displaying. E1.D.yy. The reason I'm using this E1.D is because I cannot write D.dd directly. If you write it like this, in that case, it will not find it because mera structure DDMMYY wala is declared within the employee. So employee ke under there is a structure DDMMYY wala and then you can access it. So 2 times you have to use a dot operator. Atharva, if you want to take multiple inputs, you can take by creating array of structure. Okay. Have you understood up to this point? What is the difference between structure and data type syntax? Akshay, in the structure and data type of the syntax, I'm not getting your question. Aparna, I'm not getting your question. Why hyphen? It's just a representation. Many hyphen output mein chahiye. If you do not want, you can just write like this. It's just the representation. Can you see? Now it is giving me without hyphen. It's just the representation. That's it. If you want to give colon, you can give colon too. जैसे आपको data represent करना है, that is why. Can you see? It's giving me colon sign. However you wish display. Right. Hardik is asking where to see the program on the portal. Hardik, when you try to log in on Sunbeam portal, there is an online menu. ऑनलाइन में आपको आज का Zoom ID एंड पासवर्ड दिखता रहेगा. वहां पे आपको एक कोड नाम का ऑप्शन दिखता है. कोड पे क्लिक करो, आपको ऐसा ही डायरेक्टरी स्ट्रक्चर दिखेगा 81_.c फाइल. Go log into Sunbeam portal, you will be able to see that. Difference between simple data type and structured data type. अक्षय, simple data type जब आप डिक्लेयर करते हो तो वो एक ही मेमोरी लेता है, इंटीजर a, इंटीजर b, float a and so on. Structure is basically used because I want to maintain the record. For example, मुझे अभी एम्प्लॉय का रिकॉर्ड बनाना है. In that case, मैं एम्प्लॉय ID, एम्प्लॉय सैलरी, फिर एम्प्लॉय का लेटर से ज्वाइनिंग डेट चाहिए, तो मैं एक रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन कर रही हूँ. Maintenance of keeping of records individually Instead of creating different variable names, I'll create a one skeleton for it. And that will be a generic skeleton for me where I can create variables and access the data. That is the difference between a normal and structured data type. And normal data type, basically integer, float, character, they are called as primitive because their size is fixed. But in case of structure, the size is not fixed. It is user-defined data type. It is also called as derived data type because I'm using existing data type. Okay. Can we use two nested structure? It is completely based on you, Akshay, whether you can go for one or more number of nested structure within the same program. It's your wish, as well as it is a requirement of the developer, right? Line number 18 में e1.id, e1 का जो first field है 1, वो किसको मिलेगा? id को मिलेगा. Am I printing in %d? Yes, that's why id I have got it as 1. Durgesh, second field is e1.salary. E1 का salary field is the second field. That's why 60,000 उसको मिला. I'm representing in %d. Okay. Hardik, online login on Sunbeam portal, students.sunbeamapps.org with your username and the password. Under the online session menu, आपको code आज की Zoom meeting ID details दिखेंगे. Right? These types of MCQ questions are asked. You must understand, संकेत, कि जब भी आपको कभी भी कोई स्ट्रक्चर डिक्लेयर किया हुआ है, फिर उसके अंदर डेटा एलिमेंट्स असाइन किया हुआ रहता है, एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. तो फिर आपको ये प्रिंटिंग के स्टेटमेंट्स आएंगे, एरे ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर आएगा, एंड सो ऑन. What if you use float? That's absolutely fine, Navjot. Requirement, as per the developer requirement, you can go ahead. राइट. हार्दिक, जहां पे मीटिंग आईडी एंड पासवर्ड है उसके आगे आपको कोड दिख रहा है क्या? कोड करके ऑप्शन. इफ नॉट, चेक योर सिस्टम डेट एंड टाइम. यू विल बी एबल टू सी द कोड पार्ट. उधर क्लिक करो तो आपको ऐसा का ऐसा स्क्रीन दिखेगा. अगर नहीं दिख रहा है तो सिस्टम डेट, टाइम एंड टाइम जोन चेक करो या फिर एक बार रिफ्रेश करो. यस, यू कैन अर्पित, यू कैन. एम्प्लॉय का वेरिएबल कहाँ पे है पवन? एम्प्लॉय का वेरिएबल E1 यहाँ पे है. यस हार्दिक, इफ द टाइम इज नॉट करेक्ट तो सनबीम का पोर्टल के अपडेट्स आपको बराबर से नहीं दिखेंगे. So whenever you log in on Sunbeam portal, requesting everyone, quiz भी कभी कभी कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं दिखता है. The reason behind that is your system time is not correct. So if the time and date is not correct, then set it first, log out and log in first. ठीक है. I'll wait for 2 more minutes, quickly go through all the codes, and then I will go ahead to the size of operator. Just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. Yes, Aisha, you can create a structure inside the main. That's what I said. But normally we declare structure within the outside the main so that other function can have the accessibility too. Okay. Let us say I have got structure student where I have integer ID and integer marks, right? And let us say I have a float percentage. So, all right. So I will say now I'm going ahead to the topic which is called as finding the size of structure. So I'll create a struct variable student and I'll say S. I'll write printf %d. I wish to print the size of structure. So I will write size of S. At this location, when you try to compile this code, can you see I'm getting size as 12? Everyone, right? Next, suppose Please concentrate. Suppose I'm writing character ch as a one more element into it. So I'll compile it once more and let us check the output. Am I getting 16? All right. Now, why I'm getting 16? Let us observe. Suppose I'm writing character ch2. यहाँ पे मैं ch1 देती हूँ, यहाँ पे ch2. Please concentrate. Still, I will get the size as 16. Okay. Let us say, now I'm writing integer result. अब मुझे size मिलना चाहिए 20. How it is possible and why it is giving me this? In a case of structure, I'm explaining the size of, but in case of structure, there is one concept which is called as memory packing. What is memory packing? First of all, can you please tell me in my given structure, who is the largest data member? Who is the largest data member? Integer is the largest member. तो मेरा कंपाइलर ये डिसीजन लेगा कि फॉर दिस स्ट्रक्चर आई विल पैक द मेमोरी 4 bytes every time. What do you mean by packing the memory? Packing the memory means allocating the memory. To whom? To the structure elements. As in when any structure elements arise, your compiler allocates memory to it. So, first decision your compiler will take कि in this structure, मेरा largest data member is of type integer, which takes 4 bytes. तो हर टाइम मैं 4 bytes का memory allocation से start करेंगे. So, I will say first field came as integer ID. Can I say ID require 4 bytes? Everyone? Can I say ID require 4 bytes? I will draw a quick diagram so that you will be able to understand. So I'll say these are my first 4 bytes. This is 4 bytes. Next, I'll say, just copy this, I'll require this. Okay, so I'll say the first field is ID. Now, second field is marks. Can you please tell me marks को कितने bytes चाहिए? 4. Can I occupy marks into this? ID में marks को डाल सकती हूँ? No. So one more time, 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. So that is nothing but marks. Next, float percentage. Percentage को कितने bytes चाहिए? 8. So can I say here one more time 4 bytes of memory will be allocated? That is nothing but percentage. Correct. Did you remember that when I try to find ID, marks and percentage, तो मुझे output 12 bytes आया था? पहला output अभी थोड़ी देर पहले. Yes. Who is the next field now? CH1. CH1 requires how many bytes? Only 1 byte. Can I occupy CH1 over here? No. Ab, due to the memory packing, your compiler will give me 4 bytes of memory one more time. So what it will do? Assume I'm saying 4 bytes. Maybe this is my first byte. This is my second byte. This is the third and this is the fourth one. Out of which फर्स्ट फील्ड में CH1 को जगह मिलेगी. समझ में आया? Everyone, this field will have CH1. Now can you please tell me, जब मैंने size of find किया था, total allocation my structure have given me due to the memory packing was 12 bytes, 16 bytes. Did I get the answer as 16? Yes. Who is the next field? Who is the next field? CH2. Now, can you please tell me if CH2 is the next field which requires 1 byte, can I accommodate CH2 over here? Yes. तो जब मैंने CH2 insert किया था, what size I have got? Still I was getting 16 bytes. Right? Next is the result field. Result requires 4 bytes. Can I occupy 4 bytes into it? No. One more time, 4 bytes will be allocated to me. And this is nothing but result. Total allocation is given to me as 5 blocks of 4 bytes each. That's why I've got it as 20. In between, while allocation of memory, I am saying these blocks will remain unused blocks, and in unused blocks को हम बोलते हैं slack bytes. Unused blocks are called as slack bytes. This is called as size of structure. And what do you mean by slack bytes? Have you understood what is slack byte? So while allocation memory to the structure elements, if some of the blocks remains unused, then those are unused blocks, and that is called as slack bytes. All right. If you all have understood up to this point, I'll take one more example in size of. Individual element is receiving its own memory allocation. Right? If we again declare one character, then obviously one more 4 bytes will be allocated Shukrajit. मेरा CH3 यहाँ पे allocation नहीं होगा. Next 4 bytes will be allocated. So the total allocation will be 24 bytes. Okay. हमें size of float is 4 bytes. तो float को भी 4 bytes लगता है. Okay. Third element is, that's what I'm taking the double example. Don't worry. Hardik, if there is a starting with character, then also whoever is the largest data member, वो पहले search करता है compiler, accordingly memory pack करता है. I'll take one more example. I'll say I'll declare a structure student one more time, where I have integer marks, and let us say I have a double percentage. Now, let us try to find this. At this point, देविदास, अल्टीमेटली जब आपने पहली बार CH लिखा, CH के लिए उसने 4 बाइट्स अलोकेट किया. नेक्स्ट CH2 लिखा तो उसको इसमें ऑक्यूपाई मिल गया. अगर मेरे CH1 के बाद में रिजल्ट बोलती थी तो यहाँ पे 3 बाइट्स वुड हैव बीन अ स्लैक बाइट्स. The way your elements are coming in the structure, accordingly your data fields or your memory is packed. What is packing? It is like allocating memory one by one. So that is why we always say, while declaration of structure, it is the job of the developer to declare in such a way that there will be less number of slack bytes. Understood, everyone? All right. Now, can you just give me the guess answer for this question? What will be the size now? Everyone, the size will be 16 bytes. Why? Because the largest data member is double. Existing space is never used. That's why I'm saying unused space is slack bytes. Okay, Pawan? So, first time 8 bytes will be allocated. Pehla, 4 bytes will be used by marks, and remaining 4 bytes are slack bytes. यहाँ पे I cannot accommodate percentage into those 4 bytes. That's why one more time 8 bytes will be allocated. समझ में आया? All right. I'm going little ahead with a different combination. I'll say here, I am adding One more field. Why 8 byte, Rishi? As I said, in the structure, memory packing is done based on the largest data field available in that structure. अब integer और double में से largest कौन सा है? Obviously double. So memory packing कैसे होगा? Double के साथ होगा. अगर मैं लिखती हूँ integer id, can you please give me the size now? Again, it will be 8. If the third data type ID character, it will take yes. Hardik, I'm coming to your point. I'm coming to your point. Let us observe first this question. Can you see still I'm getting 16? The reason is memory packing जो होगा वो हमेशा 8 byte से होगा. I'll take this example and I'll draw it for you. Right? In this case, memory पहला decision क्या लेना है कि memory packing कैसे होगा? 8 bytes every time. So first field have been arrived in which marks is coming, which is of type integer. But memory packing is of 8 bytes. तो पहला 8 byte का block allocate होगा. I'll say this is 8 bytes. This is 8 bytes. Out of which, how much does my marks takes? Marks takes only 4 byte. तो यहाँ पे marks आ जाएगा. Next field कौन सा आया? Next field is basically ID. अगर ID आया, can I accommodate ID into this? Yes, I can accommodate because it takes 4 bytes. But what about the next field? Percentage. It takes 4 bytes of memory, 8 bytes. One more time, it will be allocated. Right? In this scenario, if I try to just fill it, maybe I'll erase this, will be more better. Okay. So this is basically the next 8 byte which will be allocated to whom? To my percentage. Total allocation कितना हुआ? 16 bytes का हुआ. All right. Please concentrate. If I just try to take the same example but with one modification. What is that modification? Observe. Instead of writing ID immediately after marks, I am writing ID after percentage. अब आप मुझे बताओ आउटपुट क्या आना चाहिए? अब आउटपुट आएगा 24. Is it fine? The way you are declaring the variables, accordingly memory block pack होते जाएगा and allocate होते जाएगा. Good. Everyone, let us go ahead. I hope no need to draw the diagram now for this question, right? Let us say I'm writing struct student and I'm writing integer name, integer roll number, integer ID and character grade. And let us try to print the size of now. What will be the size in this scenario? Everyone. 4, 4, 4. That is 12. Am I getting 12? Why I'm getting 12? Can you please by rule, यहाँ पे memory packing कैसे होगा? It will be based on how many bytes every time? 4 bytes. Yes, absolutely correct, Pawan. 4 plus 4 plus 4. All right. Ab, I wish to say hash pragma pack 1. What is this hash pragma pack 1? It is basically I wish to intimate your operating system, intimate your compiler, please pack memory, one by one byte. Instead of looking into the data types of my structure, every time one byte से मेरा memory pack करो. So I will compile this code. and check, am I getting exact output as 9? Because roll number will be allocated 1 byte. Can I occupy roll number in 1? No. 1 more byte will be allocated. 1 more byte will be allocated. 1 more will be allocated. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and this will be 1. So अब समझ में आया कि hash pragma is a preprocessor. Hash आया मतलब वो preprocessor. In this case, your compiler will pack your memory 1 byte every time. Did you all get it? Okay. Now, if yes, then I'll create a separate file. It's not that difficult topic. Only the thing is आपको थोड़ा सा syntax याद रखना पड़ता है. That's it. I'll say struct, maybe student, and I'm saying integer ID and integer marks. Right. Pavan, can we write side of struct? You can write Durgesh. Pavan, I'll come to that. Hash pragma, then there will be no slack bytes, Devidas, because मैंने उसको कहा है कि एक एक बाइट से ही रेफर करो. Okay, so पहला इंस्टेड ऑफ बाय डिफॉल्ट वो 4 बाइट से पैक करता था, अब वो 1 बाइट से पैक करेगा. ठीक है, राइट. दुर्गेश हैव आस्क्ड मी कैन वी राइट साइज ऑफ स्ट्रक्ट. यस दुर्गेश, अगर आपने वेरिएबल नहीं क्रिएट किया है then you can use like this, printf /n size in %d format and size of, you do not write only word struct, you have to write struct and this the structure name. Okay Durgesh, so it will be कौन से स्ट्रक्चर की साइज आपको फाइंड करनी है, मुझे स्ट्रक्ट स्टूडेंट की साइज फाइंड करनी है, तो इट विल गिव यू द एग्जैक्ट आउटपुट. I hope in Pragma only 3 data type then 3 size. No Pavan, 3 data types है, लेकिन इंटीजर के लिए मुझे 1 बाइट नहीं चाहिए ना, 4 बाइट चाहिए. तो वो अलोकेशन कैसे करेगा? 1 बाइट 1 बाइट 1 बाइट 1 बाइट 4 times. Okay. For ID also I require 4 bytes. 1 1 1 1. Grade के लिए I require only 1 byte. 1 byte allocation कर दिया. Yes, it is like compaction, kind of. Okay. It is based again, Narendra. It is based on your elements available into that structure. You can try at your end. जैसे जैसे मेमोरी एलोकेशन होगा, इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर का जो साइज रहेगा, आउटर स्ट्रक्चर का जो साइज रहेगा, टोटल अपने स्ट्रक्चर को अलोकेट करेगा. ओके नरेंद्र? All right. Here in this case we have got the output 9 Pavan. Shall I go little ahead? Okay. Let us say I'm writing here integer struct student s1. s1.id is equal to 1. s1 dot roll number maybe is equal to 12. I'll just try to print id is equal to %d s1.id, and why only size is getting executed? Ashwini, please observe, जब मैंने मेन में साइज लिखा है तो वो मुझे साइज ही आउटपुट देगा ना, इट विल कैलकुलेट इंटरनली ना. ओके, जो मैं मेन में लिखूंगी वैसे ही एग्जीक्यूट होगा ना. होप इट इज क्लियर. ऑल राइट, गुड. नाउ let us understand the next thing now. I'll say printf, I'll say roll number %d, and I'll write s1 dot roll number. I'll give semicolon. Let us compile this code. I've written marks. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll change this field. No worries. Okay. Now, can you observe roll ID is given this, roll number is this. That means in case of structure, जैसे जैसे मैं elements को data दे रही हूँ, in the similar fashion, I'm getting those elements from wherever into the program. Have you understood up to this point? If I would have created यहाँ पे S2, तो S2.id, S2.roll number, individual element get the data. If I try to find out, let us say printf, then if I try to wish to find out size in a %d, I can write size of S1. I'll get 8 as a byte. Okay. Let me quickly draw a diagram. I'll say here, this is structure student. So ultimately, how the memory will be allocated? The memory will be allocated as, for the first element, ID, for the second element, roll number. And this total size, which will be allocated to me, will be 8 bytes, because individual element is receiving its own memory allocation. As soon as in my program, when I write struct student S1, so what will happen in this scenario? ये complete structure का block S1 को allocate किया जाएगा. And I have assigned S1.id is equal to 1, S1.roll number, let us say, is equal to 12. If I have assigned like this, means can I say the first element, wherever the ID is there, I'll get 1. Wherever the roll number is there, I'll get 2. This is in case of structure. Do you all agree? Abhi humne dekha. Right. Now, what I'll do, I will do the same program, right? But let us understand, instead of struct, I will write union. I'll write union. Union में अब मेरे पास ID and roll number है. Next, I will create a union variable. Suppose I have assigned ID is equal to 1, roll number is equal to 12. And I have tried to print size. ठीक है? Just write here return 0. I just forgot. That's fine. ठीक. We have declared a union. Whenever I'm declaring a union, in that case, please observe, we have declared union. Can you please tell me who is the largest data member? Integer. Yes or no? Right. In case of union, only largest data member field is allocated to me. Means union individual element को memory नहीं देता है. Union will allocate only 4 bytes of memory to me. So in case of union, memory is shared among all the data members. Now let us understand the scenario. I'll explain, and then if you have any queries, please do ask. Let me just explain 2 scenarios. First, in my main, I have said s1.id and s1.roll number, and I've printed it, right? So I have written this program. Now let us understand let us observe the output first. I'll prove how the memory is shared. Can you see S1.id is 1, roll number is 12. But can you observe size of S1 मुझे 4 ही आया, right? Who is the largest data member in union? Integer. तो maximum जो जिसका size रहेगा वो मिलेगा. अब जैसे ही मैंने S1.id लिखा 1, तो 4 बाइट्स का ये जो मेमोरी अलोकेशन है, राइट, दिस इज शेयर्ड, राइट. तो पहले id is allocated 1 means id will be stored as basically 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 again 0 0 0 if I try to represent in this format. Do you all agree, everyone? ये ऐसे स्टोर होगा. I will just increase this size. It is 32-bit format में this 4 byte will be taken as by printing like this. Okay, good. So what will happen as soon as user is saying s1.id is equal to 1, this will get stored like this. Okay, and I'm saying printf id. Is it printing me id is equal to 1? Everyone? Yes or no? Yes. Now, later on, I have allocated s1 dot roll number is equal to 12. When I say s1 dot roll number is equal to 12, it means, let me explain now. I will take the same memory byte, and when I try to execute s1 dot roll number, this is how the memory will be allocated. जो previous वाला memory है वो deallocate हो जाएगा. And how will I store 12? It will be 8421 format में. This will be 1100. This will be 1100. Means उसे 4 bytes पे मेरा data overwrite होगा based on s1 dot roll number is equal to 12, and that is what. Am I printing that data immediately after it? Yes. If I'm printing it immediately after application, after applying, I'm getting 12. समझ में आया यहाँ तक? Everyone, did you all understand up to this point? It means if you use union, the memory is shared. पहले ID आया, ID will get stored. Later on, roll number 12 है. Monali, 12 is the binary. 12 का binary is 1100, right? So that binary data will get stored. Now, please observe. It's like, just hold on, Haniraj. It's like first I have stored the data. Immediately I have printed. Second, I have stored the data. Immediately I have printed. Now, let me go ahead. And in this scenario, what I'll do, I will create a union. अब मैंने पहले ID allocate किया, फिर roll number allocate किया, फिर मैं उसको बोलती हूं अब मुझे ID की वैल्यू एंड रोल नंबर की वैल्यू प्रिंट करके दो. Please observe now the output. Can you see ID and roll number both I am getting as 12? Everyone. So what has happened now? It is basically, let me take the next scenario. It has basically, when I have used s1.id is equal to 1, in that case, first of all, 1 का allocation हुआ रहेगा 0001. Assume I'm writing like this, right? ये मेरे 4 bytes में complete allocation हुआ रहेगा. But once that allocation is done for ID, this is for my ID, assume. And after this, मैंने फिर से कहा please allocate S1 dot roll number is equal to 12, due to which this data have been overwritten. 12 can be represented as 1100. So jab, when I'm saying now please print the data, ultimately ID and roll number, they are sharing the memory, due to which last updated value I'm fetching, I'm getting. इज इट ओके? अगर आपने रोल नंबर बाद में असाइन किया रहता था 1, तो दोनों का आउटपुट 1 आता था. This is the difference between the structure and the union. Did you all get it? Everyone? I hope you are understanding the things properly. Ab, can you, this is the major difference between your structure and union. So, if you observe the syntax, if the grade A as a character is used, surgeon, in that case last updated value 4 बाइट्स में रेफर करोगे तो वो गार्बेज भी दे सकता है, 1 बाइट में रेफर करोगे तो लास्ट अपडेट. इन शॉर्ट, इन केस ऑफ यूनियन, यूनियन गिव्स अस द लास्ट अपडेटेड वैल्यू. Is it okay? Last updated value, as well as based on the format specifier, it tries to fetch the data. Is it okay? Is it okay? So the major difference between structure and union is, in case of structure, every individual element receives its own memory allocation. In case of union, the elements receives only the memory which is being allocated as a largest data member. Okay. Yes, Shubham, you can declare a pointer within the structure by creating a normal pointer variable. जैसे हम नॉर्मल वेरिएबल्स बनाते हैं वैसे ही. राइट. हार्दिक, फर्स्ट इनपुट अगर आपने इंटीजर दिया, सेकंड कैरेक्टर दिया, तो भी मेरा मेमोरी, आपका मेमोरी जो आपने लास्ट अलोकेशन किया वही डेटा फेच करके देगा. राइट. how to check the syntax of hash pragma? It is basically you have to write hash pragma and pack, bracket में you pass 1 2 and so on, but normally we write for hash pragma pack 1 because it is basically pack to save the memory. तो 1 बाइट से अगर हम पैक करेंगे तो वो मेरा मेमोरी सेव कर देगा. ओके अक्षय? All right. If you observe the syntax of structure and union, syntax remains the same. Creation of variable remains the same. Can we have anonymous union? Answer is yes. Can I give type def to the union? Answer is yes. Everything, if you have understood with respect to structure, the thing which are there in union are exactly same. समझ में आया? So union is rarely used. The reason behind that is it always overwrites the data. तो हमें हमेशा updated data नहीं मिलता है. If you really wish to maintain the records of some employees, some students, some proper records, then we never go for union because it will never give me individual element as a memory allocation. So always we go for structure. समझ में आया? And I have explained the size of structure and size of union, and I have proved जब हम structure की size find करते हैं तो I get the memory allocation for each element. इसलिए previous example में we have got this size as 8 bytes, but in this case we have got the size as only 4 bytes because memory is shared. Is it okay? If you want only last updated data, in that case, Sahil, you can go for union. Otherwise, go for structure. Muskan, union student, integer ID, integer roll number. I think by mistake you have copied the code over here. You can practice the code by typing into VS Code. Right, no issues. I got it. All right. So we have seen the concept of structure and union in combination also. Can I declare a union within structure? Answer is yes. You can declare a union within the structure. You can find the size of structure, size of union, and accordingly it will work. समझ में आया यहाँ तक? Everyone. Any questions so far? No. Any questions? तुषार, if you go for structure within union, तो obviously अगर structure ज्यादा size ले रहा है, तो in that case आपके structure का size ही union को मिलेगा. But ultimately it will be basically going ahead with the concept of maybe every individual element only. मतलब अगर स्ट्रक्चर ले रहे हो तो हर एक एलिमेंट को जगह मिलेगा, यूनियन में मेमोरी शेयर हो जाएगा. तो अगर मेमोरी शेयर हो रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल गिव यू सम रैंडम आउटपुट. So it's always better to avoid it. Okay, right. Can you see this? This is what is the output per one. In this case, memory will be allocated 1 byte, no Muskan. Have I said a union में smallest data member के हिसाब से memory मिलता है? No. Union allocates the memory in the form of whoever is the largest data member. Okay. All right. Now, someone is asking me double hash. Then actually double hash is used when you want to concat two things. This is normally used, for example, if I'm writing hash define, this is a macro. And if you're writing, let us say test, and if you're writing p comma q, and if I'm writing p hash hash q, तो इसका output कैसे होगा? pq. That is what it is used for concatenation. Sorry, it is basically for concatenation. So जहां पे भी आप किसी भी वेरिएबल को कंबाइन करना चाहते हो, तो you can go for double hash. This is called as tokenizing and stringizing operator. Okay, this you can use only in case of macros, pre-processing directives. All right, any questions so far? Okay, so do you need a break of 10-15 minutes? Yes. So let us take a break of 10-15 minutes and then we will start with, I'll give you just introduction about bit field and one example of file reading the contents from the file so that you will explore more onto it. I'll stop the recording as a first part and we will take a break. Meanwhile, if you can see the feedback of C programming, please do the needful and fill it.